Nancy Pelosi suggests foreign influence behind U.S. pro-Palestinian activism. What to know? House Speaker Nancy Pelosi recently made headlines when she suggested that there may be foreign influence behind the pro-Palestinian activism in the United States. Pelosi's comments came during a press conference in which she was asked about the recent surge in pro-Palestinian demonstrations and activism in the U.S. in response to the escalating violence in the Middle East. Pelosi's remarks have sparked a heated debate, with some praising her for raising important questions about the motivations behind the pro-Palestinian movement, and others criticizing her for making unsubstantiated claims and perpetuating stereotypes about the Palestinian cause. So, what exactly did Pelosi say, and what should we know about the issue? During the press conference, Pelosi stated, "We have to be very careful in how we even evaluate any foreign influence, because we don't want to have that kind of influence on our policy." She went on to suggest that there may be foreign governments or entities that are influencing the pro-Palestinian activism in the U.S., without providing any specific evidence to support her claims. Pelosi's comments have been met with criticism from some who argue that she is attempting to delegitimize the pro-Palestinian movement by insinuating that it is being manipulated by foreign powers. Critics also point out that Pelosi's remarks echo long-standing efforts to discredit pro-Palestinian activism by labeling it as anti-Semitic or driven by outside influences. On the other hand, some have defended Pelosi's comments, arguing that it is important to consider the potential influence of foreign actors on domestic political movements. They point to the well-documented efforts of foreign governments to influence U.S. politics and policy, and argue that it is not unreasonable to question whether similar efforts are at play in the pro-Palestinian movement. Regardless of one's stance on Pelosi's comments, it is important to approach the issue with a critical and discerning eye. It is crucial to distinguish between legitimate concerns about foreign influence and baseless accusations that serve to undermine legitimate political movements. Moreover, it is essential to remember that the pro-Palestinian movement is rooted in a long history of oppression and dispossession, and that the recent surge in activism is a response to the ongoing violence and human rights abuses in the region. It is important to engage with the issues at hand and to support the rights of all people, regardless of their nationality or political affiliations. In a statement, a spokesperson for Ms. Pelosi pointed to a social media post by Ian Bremmer, a political scientist and professor at Columbia University, who wrote that Putin benefits from continued war in Gaza and expanded chaos in the Middle East. The spokesperson said Ms. Pelosi would continue to focus on stopping the suffering in Gaza and demanding that all hostages be released. Speaker Pelosi has always supported and defended the right of all Americans to make their views known through peaceful protest, the statement said. Speaker Pelosi is acutely aware of how foreign adversaries meddle in American politics to sow division and impact our elections, and she wants to see further investigation ahead of the 2024 election. Russia has expressed support for a ceasefire in Gaza, and Mr. Putin has used the conflict to criticize the United States' role in the Middle East. Russia has also meddled in the United States' past two presidential elections. Democrats have been deeply divided over policy toward Israel since Hamas killed about 1,200 people and abducted another 240 during its October 7 attack. Israel's military response has killed more than 26,000 people, according to Gaza's health ministry. A New York Times/Siena College poll found that voters broadly disapproved of Mr. Biden's handling of the conflict, with nearly as many Americans saying they want Israel's military campaign to stop as those who said it should continue. The split poses an acute challenge for Mr. Biden as he seeks re-election and tries to hold together a Democratic coalition that elected him to the White House in 2020. Many countries have advocated a ceasefire, with 153 nations in the United Nations General Assembly voting in favor of an immediate ceasefire in December. The International Court of Justice told Israel on Friday it must take action to prevent genocide in Gaza. Kalagwa covers Congress for the New York Times as the 2023-24 reporting fellow based in Washington. In conclusion, Pelosi's comments have sparked an important conversation about the potential influence of foreign actors on domestic political movements. While it is important to consider the role of foreign powers in shaping political discourse, it is equally important to approach the issue with nuance and to avoid perpetuating harmful stereotypes or baseless accusations. At the heart of the matter is the ongoing crisis in the Middle East and the need to address the root causes of the conflict in a fair and equitable manner.